Hello everyone. Okay, my last video for today. This one deals with a very brief period of the 1 cent small queen, which are what I call the Medallion Dot plates that were supposedly produced between 1886 and 1888. So the very tail end of the Montreal period before the Montreal Gazette printings. Now, one thing I will preface this with, because there's an exception item that I've uncovered in looking at these, and that is last week I uncovered a few instances of printings that had dots in places on the stamps that they shouldn't appear. So I had second Ottawa printings that had dots in the lower margins, but not in the lower left corner. And I had one example of a second Ottawa printing with a medallion dot, which wasn't supposed to exist. In this particular group that I looked at, I came across an orange yellow with a medallion dot, but when I checked the perforation, it was 11.75 by 12, and the paper type is MMB. So it was clearly a mid-Montreal printing, and yet it has a medallion dot, which the pre-1880 plates are not supposed to have. They're only supposed to have the dot at the lower left. So it's clear that there is a little bit more research required here with respect to the medallion dots. I think generally speaking, if you have a medallion dot on a perf 12 stamp or 12.1, 12.2, you can safely assume it is from the 1886 to 88 period, but clearly there are some plates earlier that did have that dot. Now, in terms of colors, again, these are all yellow shades. What I've seen, I mean, I've only seen very, very few examples, but so far the colors are deep yellow, dull yellow, bright yellow, a little bit of greenish yellow. There's really no ochre yellows. I haven't come across any orange yellows. So they're very yellow shades, and I'll just show you quickly what they look like here. So if we turn the camera over, so here I've got brighter yellow and duller yellow. Here I've got some more shades, pale bright yellow tending on a greenish yellow, a dull yellow, pale yellow, and a brighter yellow. So these, all the medallion dots appear right at 9 o'clock on the medallion, either right on the medallion border or in the little white space between the two frame lines in each case. This is the stamp I was talking about earlier, where it's an orange yellow, but it's perf 11.75 by 12, and it also has a medallion dot here. So there you have it. That's the dot plates. Unitrade makes it sound as though, you know, when you look at the listings, it talks about medallion dots appearing on all these printings. That gives the impression that they're fairly common, or they're as common as the other stamps, but they're clearly not. The mere fact that they're from a period that only covers 3 years out of, I mean, the Montreal period runs from 1873 to 1888. So in a 15-year period, this is only 3 years. So just on numbers and time period alone, this should be 5 times scarcer than the average perf 12 Montreal printing. And I suspect that from what I've seen that those numbers hold up. So even though Unitrade only lists a basic Montreal printing used at $1.25 for fine, I think the dot plates should probably be worth quite a bit more than that. They should be $3 or $5 a stamp, in my opinion. But yeah, that's really all I have to say on that. So where I'm at now, as I finish tomorrow morning, I've got just the second Ottawa printings to deal with, and they're pretty straightforward. There's really just the early ones um, before the plates were re-engraved on the newsprint, and then the later plates showing the re-engraving, and then looking for perhaps the late period on the better paper. Um, what is going to be challenging there, I think, is finding some really early ones that are from, say, 1890 or 89, and seeing how those might differ from the more common 1893 to 95 middle of the road stuff. Anyway, that's it for tonight, and thanks for watching and enjoy. Bye.